Hi, I'm Robert Vida McLeod and I'm the CEO of Frontline Management. Frontline is a tanker company that was listed in the US in 2001. Since then, we have returned close to $6 billion to our shareholders. Our 63 tankers have an average age of just 4.3 years, giving us one of the youngest fleets in the industry. Our size, fleet makeup and spot exposure positions us to generate significant earnings to our shareholders. Mr. John Fredrickson and his family are, through Hemmon Holding, Frontline's largest shareholder and continue to be immensely supportive of Frontline. We are a lean organisation, always focused on costs, and our cash break-even levels are industry leading. We have unique access to lenders, shipyards and of course charterers. We break even at 16,000 Afras, just below 20,000 on Suezmaxes and just above 24,000 on VLCCs. For every $1,000 our vessel make over these break-even levels, Frontline will make $19 million a year. To give this some perspective, there have been years where we've made our current market cap in net income. All necessary steps are being taken to prepare our fleet for the new emission regulations that kick in 2020, and we expect this to be an industry-changing event. We also own a large stake in a leading scrubber manufacturer, which gives us unlimited and timely access to equipment. Let's run through 6 simple but very important charts. The tanker market pulled back at the start of the year, driven by OPEC cuts and fleet growth. But in recent weeks, the market has reversed, driven by an increase in US exports, showing a contra-seasonal trend. Rates have more than doubled since January, a trend that we virtually never see at this time of year. I believe that the recent strength shows that the tanker market is well balanced and is a sign of good things to come. The oil market remains undersupplied and inventories have fallen over recent quarters. But the refinery margins have recently risen, leading to more oil hitting the markets. This, of course, increases the demand for shipping. Inventory cycles and tanker rates are closely related, and forecasts are for inventories to build over the coming quarters. In our market, the distance oil needs to travel is a very important factor. US production has become the driver, and I believe US production will remain the main extra supplier in the oil market for the foreseeable future. Therefore, many of our ships will ballast straight from Asia to the US Gulf before heading back to Asia. New investments in US export capacity are also underway, and the Atlantic to Asia dynamic going forward will be critical. This trend does not seem to be slowing and is clearly very encouraging. We are currently in one of the highest delivery years for VLCCs seen in recent times. In 2018, 39 VLCCs were delivered. The same number was also recycled, giving a net effect of 0 fleet growth. Therefore, the fleet is better balanced now, the profits are returning as oil demand keeps rising. The tanker market is actually that simple, believe it or not. 2020 is the year where the older vessels will be due for costly special surveys. The survey pool, as we describe them, become a lot more expensive to own. This group of ships exceeds the order book by 20%, a perspective which is very important to consider. My expectation is that the survey pool vessels will only cover their operating expense if our modern VLCCs make $45,000 a day. To us, this is more than $8 million net income per VLCC before the survey pool starts making money. In September 2019, the ballast water regulation will be enforced, and on the first day of 2020, IMO's game-changing sulfur regulation will also be enforced. These regulations will not be delayed. Investments in fleet upgrades will for some not be made in time, and there will be scrapping in 2019. But it will be at a slower pace than seen in 2018. Frontline is positioned to benefit from this thanks to our very young fleet. The new sulfur limits will also impact oil demand tremendously. This is due to diesel demand going through the roof, leading to increased crude throughput in the world's refineries. This growth will ultimately level off as refineries adapt, but this is likely to take several years. In the meantime, this is obviously very bullish for our business. Our business will be driven by US exports, minimal fleet growth, and the catalyst in 2020. OPEC volume must also return, possibly during 2019, and the tanker market could then well be off to the races. I believe we are entering a cycle with strong tanker earnings, and Frontline is in pole position.